Hey there, it is I, the smartest man in the world. If by world you confine the space to just his room. And even then, it's kind of a stretch. Speaking of which, today we shall be looking at the Marvel Retro Card Series Fantastic Four. Plus some additional surprises. So, stick around. So, let's start off the review with Mr. Fantastic, Reed Richards right here. And of course, the box art is reminiscent of the 90s animated series. Toy line packaging, made by Toy Biz. Yeah, this is pretty much. I don't know if it's an exact one-in-one copy, but I know for a fact like the actual like design right here of like the way they're drawn the way the cartoon series it was. But where I'm getting at that is because there's slight differences in the character design. You know, like this Reed Richards, it's meant to be more comic accurate than the actual animated series version, as you could probably tell a little bit. Same thing applies to like Sue Storm, like her hairstyle. It's different. It's different than the Sue Storm's hairstyle in the cartoon. So, but we're talking about Reed Richards right here, and a brief description on the back of his box. It says, as Mr. Fantastic, Reed Richards utilizes his scientific brilliance and pliable form to make a difference in the world. And yeah. So I always like this art. I know for a fact that I have the retro card Doctor Doom, and that's where they first introduced it. And I've always thought that I have a loose one as well, but I always thought that was a great idea for them to utilize that. And yeah, they should just stick more to that. Yeah, so. So yeah, enough talk of the packaging. Let us open up the figure. And I don't know, it's going to be kind of dangerous because I am trying to maintain these cards, but this oval shape right here makes it a bit harder for me to just like crack it open. I'd rather have it be square, but I could see why they're trying to imitate the old design of the figure itself. And yeah, let's see if I could try to maintain the shape as best as I can. Try to not cut anything that I'm not supposed to cut, and let's get them out like that. I'll be sure to like more thoroughly cut it out afterwards. There's Mr. Fantastic right there. All right, let's get the bubble out, and here is the figure, right? And as you can see, he has a lab coat on. Of course, Reed Richards is a super genius. One of his character traits, it's not something that they just wrote in for a certain movie. One of his character traits is the fact that he tends to be really book smart, but when it comes to like social, as you can see, this is the lab coat, and it's removable. But when it comes to like social interactions with people, or just in general, just like, I guess you could call it both social interactions and also street smarts, he's pretty dumb. He's really dumb. One of his most defining dumbest moments is when he came to the conclusion in an alternate universe that no, I'm not going to talk about that alternate universe from that movie. No, but one of his he came to the conclusion that in a universe in which all the Marvel heroes were being zombified, that the zombification was an evolution. So he himself infected the rest of the Fantastic Four with the zombie virus, and then he allowed them to pretty much zombify him. And matter of fact, those four were the first original Marvel zombies shown, because that was a prequel story. And yeah, and as you can see, these long fingers on these hands are removable, so it's not like you're getting one thing or the other. You know, and of course, I'm assuming that these on the lab coat are removable as well. And yes, they are. So you could actually have your standard Reed without the lab coat. And that's pretty... Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Whoa. That was fast. Oh, man. Oh, man. Something broke. Something broke. Oh, no. Wow, that was fast. Shoot. Oh my God, something broke. I'm gonna have to get another read now, or I'm gonna have to fix them. There's that Hasbro quality control right there. Bam. Okay, I got it. I got it out, but so as you could see, the like little pin, and they're getting really thinner. That's one of my biggest complaints. Removable hands are cool, but you need to make them sturdier, Hasbro, because now it's like, oh no. So now, oh, man, this is gonna be tough, man. This is gonna be tough. I'm gonna try to salvage it on video. I think I can. I think it's salvageable. Like the pin is still there. It's just wow. That's it's pretty bad. That's pretty bad that it happened on camera. I'm gonna have to be really. Well, we can't be wasting too much time of this video, but as you can see, the pin right here, it's like it's still there. Like it's not like it actually broke away, but I don't think it's gonna stay in place either. Like I don't think it's gonna be that easy for it to just stay in place, you know. But yeah, I've heard of the dip in quality in Hasbro figures, and it's there in full force. And as you could see, I'm one of those people that believes that the windowless packaging is just a way for them to cover their butts. Okay, bam. See, it's not gonna be perfect, but it's better than nothing. Okay, and let's see. And there you go. Bam. Yeah. Yeah. But to remove it. Oh man. So it's always gonna be a hassle to remove this. That's pretty bad. That's gonna be bad, man. And yeah, between us, I would rather have these hands. I would rather have these standard hands stick with him. Yeah. And I guess these are gonna be like the lab coat hands now. But yeah, they're just very tiny. They're just very tiny, man. Yeah, it matches. It still goes well. You know, it's like it's not the end of the world. But yeah, man. Dang. As you can see, the pin is okay. Okay, problem solved for now. Pretty sure this is going to be another issue, but just to be on the safe side, I might have to pick up another reed, or at least pick up the hand, you know. This looks like it's going to be like a long-term problem. It's not going to get any easier, but other than that, the face sculpt on the figure is pretty good. He shows a little grade right there, you know. He ain't applying the Just for Man at all. The figure sculpt is great. I'm having a hard time identifying the body though. It's no butterfly joints, very skinny, very oof. That ab crunch was kind of stuck. Yeah, these figures, oof. Not a good sign. Not a good sign when the first figure down and you already had spotted a defect on his. But look, the wrist, it does rotate. It is removable, but I don't think I'm gonna remove him. And yeah, that's pretty. He looks up very high and he looks down very well. Yeah, of course, a thigh cut, double jointed knees, double jointed elbows. Yeah, great figure. I would have rated him, and this is a personal preference. I would have rated him. I would have actually rated him like a 7 out of 10, but just due to this faulty wrist, at least this guy, he's gonna get a 6 out of 10. So yeah, that's Reed Richards. We're gonna move on right now, and we're gonna go to Sue Storm, the Invisible Woman. So yeah. And here is Sue Storm in all her glory. And to be quite honest with you, I am not a fan of the hairstyle that was included. I don't know. I mean, it is 90-ish. It is very Renee Zellweger ish. But I don't know. I would have preferred this hair right here, the longer hair, the longer straighter hair than like just this kind of just layered hair that's there. But it's fine. It's different. I know there's a lot of Sue Storms out there already with the straight hair, and you could always just do a head swap, and that's fine. But I don't know. I think they could have done better. I mean, and they could still do better. They could still do a classic, 60s kind of like shorter, like bob hair cut thing. I'm not good at hairstyles, as you could tell. This is the packaging on Sue Storm. It just says, after receiving superpowers, Sue Storm Richards co-founds the Fantastic Four and emerges as a single most powerful member of the group, and that is facts. She is able to conjure up force fields, but the thing is, she could conjure them up anywhere. So if she wanted to conjure up a force field inside your mind, she could actually make your head explode. And once again, going back to that Marvel Zombie series, she actually did wind up doing that to the She-Hulk when the She-Hulk massacred her children. Yeah, fucking Marvel Zombies was dark. And if you guys want specifically, it's not going to be the standard Marvel Zombies story. That's a different one. It's a different hero in that one. This one is the one shot. It's called Marvel Zombies Dead Days. So just in case you guys want to find that specific panel, that's where I recommend. And I don't know exactly which issue it is, but yeah, just find all the Marvel Zombies issues with these guys, and they're well worth it. They start off in Ultimate Marvel, so I mean, it's like a 15-year-old story. I guess I might as well just explain to you guys how the Marvel Zombies thing came to be. It was like, the thing is, before then, the Ultimate Marvel universe would never cross over with like the standard Marvel universe, and then next thing you know, there was a storyline in which Reed Richards from the Ultimate Marvel universe was contacting a Reed Richards that looked to be like the 616 standard Reed Richards, and that's what they were thinking. That's what you were thinking that they were going to set up, and it turns out that at the end it was a big fake out, and nope, it's a zombified Reed Richards that just wanted to find a portal to go to another universe to find more bodies to feast on. So Sue Storm came with like this force field effect, but how exactly do you... Oh wow, you slide your fingers. Oh, okay, wow, that's cool. You slide your fingers in it. But yeah. And Sue Storm has had many different hairstyles. She has had many different she came with 2 additional hands. I'm kind of not gonna lie, I'm kind of reluctant to do anything with those because I don't want them to fall apart. Plus, I like these hands better on her. She does tend to just like move her fingers around and like make stuff happen, But yeah, Sue Storm has had many different hairstyles, many different uniforms. One uniform that I would personally like to see, that I know we're probably never going to see, is her in her 90s costume. And if you guys should just look that up. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous in all the right ways. It's very 90-ish-esque. But yeah, I feel that's just a costume that Hasbro is going to be reluctant to make if they're not even able to make a decent Goblin Queen. We have no chance in them ever making oh look, the hands are very removable. I'm very scared of removing them, but look, yeah, so let's give her a fisted hand here. Oops, I gave her the wrong fist. But yeah, they're never gonna give us that early 90s pre-Malice Fantastic Four costume. Yeah, which is fine. Probably customize one myself or something, but yeah, that's pretty much it I could say about Sue Storm. You know what, like, I remember when the render shots had came out for her, people were complaining about the head sculpt. They were saying it looked terrible. It was saying it looked very, very primate-esque, but I don't know. In person, it doesn't look as bad as I thought it would. It's a lot better than the render shots, that's for sure. So there is redemption in that, at least. I'm just trying to see. Let me see. Maybe on the back it actually shows how it attaches. Yeah, they show that hand, but I wonder how that. I'm trying to figure out how this effect attaches. So I'm thinking it's from here. Like her hands, you put her hands down here, but or her fingers, I mean. I'm trying. I really am trying, but I don't know. It's a nice effect, but it's very complicated. I'm not gonna lie, it's very complicated to get it to work. That might be a few points knocked off on her. Just, I don't know, I think, oof, that, I think, yeah, she's not bad. Complicated effects and all. I swear, oh my god, that, okay, I was like, oh my god, if it's something as simple as her just literally, I don't know. But yeah, her sculpt is okay. Yeah, no, she's meant to be very petite, so yeah, like, I could dig it. I could dig it. So yeah, I don't know. This complicated effects. It's another 6.5 out of 10. So yeah, that's Sue Storm. We're gonna be looking at her brother Johnny Storm, the Human Torch, right up next. So stick around. Now we shall be taking a look at Johnny Storm, the Human Torch. And the packaging on him is more of the same. As you can see, he is not in the standard Fantastic Four blue. He is all red because he is flamed up. And yeah, packaging on him is standard like every other figure. And it says right here, fiery and hot-headed, the Human Torch can burn through just about any adversity with a smile. And yeah, originally I had heard that the Human Torch was supposed to be part of that 80s cartoon, the Spider-Man and Friends 80s cartoon, but I guess due to licensing and rights, so pretty much the Spider-Man's two friends would have been Iceman and the Human Torch, you know, fire and ice. Makes perfect sense. But of course, I think due to licensing, they couldn't, so they had to create a new character, and that's where they created the character of Firestar to assist Spider-Man. And it kind of worked out in the end, because it gave off like that perfect dynamic for the show, you know, like that love triangle between Bobby Drake, Firestar, and Spider-Man. And of course, Johnny Storm, I think he's always been mired in some sort of controversy. I know for a fact that he was replaced. He was actually replaced. Or actually, maybe that's the reason why he couldn't be in the show and they had to create Firestar. I think he's always been mired in controversy because he's always been banned from like a lot of the cartoons, the Fantastic Four cartoons, particularly in the 60s and no, in the 70s and 80s, because they really didn't want kids to set themselves on fire trying to imitate Johnny Storm right here. And the sculpt is great. I like the sculpt. I like the clear translucent plastic that they use to kind of create like this fiery effect around him. I look at this right here. This piece, it doesn't translate well to the camera, but it varies in color. It looks like one solid color here, but it's actually like a mixture of like yellow and orange, and it makes, with that in mind, it makes me wonder if, because I know on the HasLab, the Ghost Rider car, I know that it looks like one solid color for the flame pieces, but maybe that's how it just looks on camera, but then in person it actually looks better. Not that I'm trying to justify the HasLab or anything, but I am playing devil's advocate. and just saying like, oh wow, look at this right here, like there's the flame effects on his hands like that. Not that I'm trying to justify the HasLab, you know, it's not worth the money that they're like charging for it. But yeah, and I like the fact that this Human Torch, I could literally use him with any Fantastic Four uniform. You know, it's like he's Flame Dawn, so I doesn't have to be the 90s suits. I could just have like swap him in, attach him to like any other type of team with different suits, the black suits, you know, the classic suits, you know, the ultimate versions. You know, it's gonna match all around. So that's one thing I do appreciate about the Human Torch figure. He seems to be on a Spider-Man buck, by the way, because he does have the butterfly joints, and he does crunch forward and back, and it does seem to be like a Spider-Man body, very muscular. I don't know if Human Torch is this muscular, but it goes well with him. It goes well with him, and he did come with these two hands, these two fists, but I kind of like what he has on. And that makes me wonder, though, how exactly am I gonna... Okay, yeah. So wait, so he came with this piece right here, which is removable. See, it's removable, and it's attached, so you could get like a flame piece like that. Yeah, it makes little sense. Like, I guess if you don't want like little flames to stick out like that, that makes perfect sense. But I don't know, I would have rather gone for like open hands, because he only came with two fisted hands that have no flame effects, and he has one fisted hand with a flame effect, and he has one open hand with a flame effect. I don't know, it's very wonky. I know he got another release in which he's in standard human form. I was gonna pick him up until I saw the price, and I'm like, $35 for this guy, just with like a head, you know. I don't know, it just seemed like way too much money. The reason it's $35 is because it's Big Bad Toy Store, and it's an exclusive that used to be sold through Hasbro Pulse. So yeah, other than that, yeah, it's Human Torch. There's not much more else to say. I would have, one of my things that I would have said, though, is that they should have I'm usually not a big fan of like holes in the figure itself, but Human Torch lends themselves to all these flight poses, so it would have been nice to just have like a hole in the back so you could attach, you know, to attach them to like flight stands or whatever. But that's not bad. But then again, maybe a hole was not the best idea given like the translucent plastic. But yeah, you know, it's weaker plastic. I don't think it's gonna hold up as well as the standard one. But yeah, yeah, that's pretty much it. Human Torch, highest rated figure so far at 7.5 out of 10. So we're gonna be finally looking at our last figure, The Thing. Wait a minute, there's additional surprises as well. Stick around. A guy whose voice is gravelly. It's clobbering time. Let's take a good look at The Thing, and man, does this figure weigh a lot. And he went for the same price as the other figures, and he is just massive. Look at the comparison between him, Human Torch, and Reed, and even Sue Storm. This guy is big. This guy is big. He is just one big chunk of rock. His feet are literally sticking out of the packaging. That's pretty awesome. I need to be careful when I open him up. But yeah, right here is his box art. And with his nearly indestructible body and incredible strength and stamina, the Thing possesses the ability to crush evil. And yeah, I don't think he's gonna I don't think he's gonna come with any additional parts other than his alternate head, and that's fine. So let's open this guy up. And The Thing, I've always felt has been, I don't know, I get the feeling Thing has always been like the best, the most well-written character from all the Fantastic. Oh wow, he actually does come with alternate hands. They were just in the back. That's a nice surprise. But I always felt like The Thing has always gotten like the more humanized stories from all the Fantastic Four, and he deserves it because he always has to grapple with that whole aspect of him being, with certain exceptions, he just can't revert back to being a human being. You know, I know there's a few storylines in which he's able to, and he was able to for a while, but for the most part, he is stuck as the Thing for good. You know, whereas Johnny Storm could flame on and flame off at any time he wants. You know, and Reed Richards could unstretch himself. You know, an Invisible Woman can make herself visible. That's another bit of her powers, in addition to the creating force fields, by the way. But I think the invisibility is due to her creating a force field to make herself invisible. But anyways, the Thing, he looks like a rock. He has all the strength, but at the same time, cannot revert back to a human being, unfortunately. And wow, right off the bat, oof, bad paint job. Really sloppy paint job. There's a lot of white right here on his orange. I'm hoping that it's removable. It's not going to be removable. That's very bad. Oh, poor quality control on Hasbro. Whoa, and the head is not attaching the best, but it's okay. His head does not look up and down that well, by the way. And let's get the standard head, and let's just attach this much more gritty, menacing head on him. But yeah, I don't know what to say. The articulation on this figure is incredible. He feels bulky. He does have double jointed knees, thigh cut. His feet. Does he have ankle rockers? I don't think he's gonna have any. No, he does not have ankle rockers. But I mean, why would it? I mean, he's sturdy enough that he could stand. He doesn't really require ankle rockers. Let me see how many joints. Single joints. Yeah, it's a single jointed elbow. What? Single jointed elbow, I guess. He does have very limited articulation. I mean, in comparison to other legends, I don't know. It's just, I hate to say it. It's very disappointing given the fact that, like, I mean, he was released before the Hulk, but I mean, like, that 20th anniversary Hulk is just incredible. It's just a brick as well, and it's way more, just in every way, it's way more articulated than this Thing, you know. And yeah, I honestly, had he had the standard articulation, and had he, man, it sucks, because had he had the standard articulation, had he just had double jointed elbows, and he didn't have this splotch in the back of him, he would have been easily an 8.5, and unfortunately he is going to be a 6.5. Very disappointing. I'm not gonna lie, very disappointing. Yeah, man, this is just inexcusable, man. This is inexcusable. It sucks, because I really wanted to like this Thing. I really wanted to like literally this Thing, this guy, this figure, and I can't just due to all the factors I described, you know. Here's hoping that they get back to him and do a figure that will make justice to him, you know. I'm pretty sure they will. But yeah, I mean, he's great. I like this shade of orange. I like it a lot better than some of the other Thing figures that have been released. And yeah, that's all I could say, man. That's all I could say. Well, I guess it's time I show you guys the surprises. We have 2 more additional Fantastic Four related figures to review, and they are, so the 2 additional surprise figures that I have planned to review are this Invisible Woman, this modern Marvel Legends Invisible Woman, and this Series 5 Marvel Legends Toy Biz Reed Richards. And these are gifts from my oldest nephew, so thank you very much for the gifts. I shall crack them open right now. And let's start off right now with the Invisible Woman, Sue Storm. And you already saw me describe her once. I'm not going to describe much of her except for her accessory that she came with. So pretty much this is her in a much more closer classic look. But even then it's not, I don't know. You'll see what I mean. So So this uniform is much more reminiscent of their classic 60s uniform, except for the fact that the 4 is kind of silverish. It's kind of silverish, as you could tell. And she does have this hand like it's phasing already, like she's turning invisible. And I like that. I like that. She also has another hand. She came with another hand that's also phasing invisible. So it's like she is phasing in and out. And yeah, this is pretty cool. I like it. I like the effect that she's going for with this figure. Same body mold as this Sue Storm, meaning I think the head peg should be the same. So we could probably do this. Oh, yeah, it's the same size. So you could probably do something like this. Bam. Oh, much better. Much better. And I guess this Sue Storm is going to get, bam. I like it. I like it a lot. And actually, this looks a lot better because this is a lot closer to that bob cut from the 60s, so I might just end up leaving it like that. Yeah, this is way better. This is a way better animated series Sue Storm now. And the accessory she came with, besides the phasing hand, she came with Herbie the robot. And they came with a stand as well. So, with Herbie by her side, Sue Storm uses psionic energy to suit up as the incredible hero, Invisible Woman. And let's check out the background right here. The 4, I'm definitely going to keep that. It's going to create very great background. It's going to make for a very great background for shots of the team. And Herbie the robot, funny enough, he was introduced as a replacement for the Human Torch. So he was literally made to replace the Human Torch because, like I said, they didn't want kids setting themselves on fire. So that's Herbie's job, to replace the Human Torch on the team. And yeah, I could dig it. The Herbie accessory, it's an accessory. It's not a figure in itself. It does nothing. It's not articulated in any... Oh, wait, it does. It's on a ball joint. It's on a ball joint. So his head does turn. Okay, at least that's better than nothing, I guess. So, yeah. And that's Sue Storm right here. Yeah, I like it. I like it. I like the changes I made to the Sue Storms. And she fits right in. She would fit right in, like I said. Hey, that's not a bad idea. How about the Fantastic Four and all in different uniforms, like an amalgamation of them, you know. But yeah, now we're getting to the bigger fish, and yeah, I'm gonna open it because the package is already damaged. You know, it's already coming apart by itself. I don't even need to cut anything, as you can see. Bam! I will be trying to. I do miss them being on these blister cards. They just gave it like this aura of being prestige, you know. Of course, it comes with a comic. Is this the standard comic? Yeah, I think it is going to be the standard comic. And as you can see, the Fantastic Four is right there, front and center. I know later down the line of Toy Biz, they just started doing like a stand, like not the actual comic like reprint, but they just started doing like a what's the word I'm looking for, like just a glamour shot of the character in question, you know, because some of the issues that did star them did not have them on the cover. You know, a good example is Cylon in her release for the Mojo series, Cylon. So that's the blister card right there. It was already yellowing. It was already coming apart. And let's take a good look at this Reed Richards. And you know, normally the Toy Biz figures are seen as too lanky nowadays. You know, too stocky. They wouldn't work, but it works for. In my opinion, it works for Reed Richards because, whoa, wow, look at these joints. It works, and it's kind of sticky. I'm not gonna lie. Wow, smells just like 2005. But yeah, the accessories are pretty awesome. I'm not gonna lie, these are pretty awesome accessories. He has the hammer fist, as you could see, and he also has like the little the slap ass hand, you know. But yeah, I guess they are removable from here. So yes, that's another thing. Hasbro were not the first to include additional hands. You know, Toy Biz were the ones to do that as well, and they did a fantastic job. I don't know. I kind of miss certain aspects of the Toy Biz design. I do not miss these ball-like shoulders that almost all the mill figures had, but they did have some innovation, in particular to finger articulation. That's something that Hasbro is barely catching up to. You know, with the regards to like finger articulations. There's figures that have way better singular finger articulation, like the Bullseye, and of course, every finger. And this is something that Hasbro barely introduced. Bam, right here, a cut at the foot for more posability. It's incredible. It's incredible that things Toy Biz did that Hasbro is barely catching up to. But then again, Hasbro has stepped their game up when in regards to sculpts. The sculpts look incredible nowadays. We would be killing ourselves for the sculpts back in the day, in particular to female figures. Trust me, the Sue Storm from this era, you do not want to see. It's just like the Rogue and the Psylocke and the Scarlet Witches of this era. But yeah, like this is Mr. Fantastic, and yeah, he lends himself pretty well. I could definitely see him, you know, different shade of blue, yes, different shade of blue, and I think it's different eras, but I don't care. Like I said, I wouldn't mind the Fantastic Four team just composed of like different versions of themselves. That works. But yeah, I like this Mr. Fantastic. Great figure. Sue Storm, 7 out of 10. Mr. Fantastic Reed Richards. Let's give him this is a high praise given the fact that this figure is the oldest of them all. You know, he's older than two of these figures combined, you know, in regards to age. Like this Sue Storm, I believe, is from like 2017, 2016, from 2016. So that's 5 years already, and these are relatively new. These are from like 2021, so that's like a couple of years. So in total, they're like 7 years. This guy right here, he is over 10 years old. Over 10 years old, like easily 12 years, I believe. No, easily 12 years over that. It's incredible. Like I said, it's incredible. What they did with the figure, with the face sculpt, it's just amazing. And let's look at his last accessory and call it a day. The Fantastic car. Yes. Because he actually did come with a vehicle. Back then, I guess this is his stand, because back then the Toy Biz figures did come with stands. And I guess his stand was the Fantastic car for him to be able to drive it. Bam. You could sit on it. Like it's pretty awesome. It's pretty awesome. It's a flying car. What more do you need? It's a flying car. Let's see this Reed in the flying car, and it works just as well for him. That's pretty awesome. And the thing is that it's not quite one-in-one reproduction, but it's a little small spaceship. But I guess the little small spaceship was meant to emphasize the Fantastic car. But yeah. So Reed Richards, given his age, given everything, it's incredible that I'm gonna award him a 6.5. Hey, no, I'm kidding. He gets a 7. They all get 7s, except for Human Torch. He gets an actual 7.5. And 6.5, 6.5, 7. 7. I think that's what I said. But these accessories are cool. It's just I'm shocked that they're oh, okay. Oh wow. Oh wow. You could actually move. Talk about finger articulation, right? Oh wow. This is incredible. Oh man. Toy Biz, you know what? Just for that, 8. He gets an 8. He gets an 8. Oh my god. Incredible. That does it for the review. Take care, you know. Wow. I am I am amazed. I am amazed. Toy Biz, you've done it again. Hasbro needs to strip the game. Oof. Oh no, I don't think it's gonna reattach ever again though. It has a hard time like staying put, but wow. Wow, that's pretty great. So yeah. All right, that does it for the review. You guys take care, and until the next time, peace. Oh wait, you know what? let's have them throw up the peace sign. Till the next time, peace.